This story takes place in the 1960s during the Cold War and the threat of nuclear warfare. Francine, or Franny as she likes to be called, is a 5th grade girl trying to cope with everything going on around her. Her father is in the military and away a lot. Her mother is a housewife who prides herself on a clean house and proper children. She has an uncle who lives with them who is fighting an old war in his head and seems to be losing more and more of reality. Her younger brother, Drew, is Mr. Perfect and is always trying to live up to his faultless standards. She has an older sister, Joellen, who is going to college. Joellen seems to be Franny's biggest confidant, but now that Joellen is in college, she is away a lot. There is a big mystery when Franny starts to notice multiple letters Joellen keeps bringing home and locking away in her room. Joellen brushes off Franny's comments about them and gives her no information, which makes Franny only more curious. Everything Franny has going on at home is only the half of it. Franny's so-called best friend, Margie, seems to be distancing herself. She says mean things and brushes her off on the playground at recess. Margie doesn't seem to care about all that Franny is dealing with, especially with her uncle publicly embarrassing her almost on a daily basis. After one specific incident leaves her uncle in the hospital, Margie runs off, leaving Franny with all the blame from her mother for putting her uncle in the hospital. Franny is beginning to feel more and more alone. Things begin to clear up at home for Franny, at least a little bit. Her Uncle Otz is out of the hospital and seems to be doing very well. Her dad is back home, which relieves a lot of pressure off of her mother. Joellen, however, has decided to spend the week at school because of her numerous activities. This causes Franny to become distraught and frantically begins to miss not having her around when Margie, her best friend, turns on her. One Sunday afternoon, Margie and Franny decide to solve Joellen's secret letter mystery. Franny decides she needs to know what is in those letters Joellen keeps receiving. This creates a huge series of events that eventually lead Margie and Franny into the principal's office at school, and Franny's mother having to come pick her up for the rest of the day. Now Franny and Margie are not speaking and are at war with each other. Franny needs Joellen now more than ever, but she is never home anymore. While all of this is going on, John F. Kennedy gave a presidential speech which now has the entire community all worried. Everyone is talking about the fact that Russia has missiles in Cuba capable of reaching the United States. In school, they have an assembly pertaining to what they should do if an attack happens while they aren't at school. It seems everyone is worried. Even Franny's mother, who has always assured them that everything was fine and that all this talk was nonsense, was now joining their Uncle Otz and really building a bomb shelter in the basement of their house. They keep being told to live life normally, but nobody seems to be able to shake their fear that Russia will start dropping atomic bombs at any time. Joellen finally comes back from college, and it seems to be just in time for Franny. She has been a mess with all of the friction between her and Margie and the constant fear of nuclear warfare everywhere around her. Franny was invited to a Halloween party by Gail, a classmate and friend of Margie's. It was a boy-girl party, and Franny knows her mother will not approve, but after her mother and father leave for a dinner affair at the Air Force Base, Joellen decides to help Franny put together a Halloween costume for the party. Franny isn't exactly sure why she's going. She knows Margie is going to be there and would really rather not see her. Little does she know that that night would turn out to be the longest night of her life. This book would be best for 5th through 8th graders. Its content and vocabulary would be better understood by this age group. This historical fiction novel brings to life a realistic feeling of the 1960s era. The character of Franny would be relatable to any child of this age group. Conflicts with peers and family are common, and the historical aspect of the time period adds an additional perk. Mixed in with the story of Franny are newspaper clippings, advertisements for bomb shelter materials, news broadcasts, brief vignettes about famous figures, and other various materials that add detail to the time period and tie in with the story. Although this book is just under 400 pages, you'll find yourself quickly immersed in the story and not want to put it down. I highly recommend this story for your classroom library.